Hi guys, and thank you again for joining me. Today we're going to be having a look at the Lit RDA from Vandy Vape. Now I have to be perfectly honest with you on this one. I was dreading this review. This review has been delayed by about 7 or 8 weeks, just due to issues that I had originally with the first Lit RDA that I purchased. I had to get in contact with Vandy Vape themselves. A string of emails. I think it ended up being about 24, 25 emails back and forth to Vandy Vape. They had to send me out, they offered to send me out replacement parts, but then they didn't include the actual part that I needed, the most important bit. So then I had to email them again. I had to wait another few weeks for them to send out the correct bits and pieces that I needed. But before I go into any more details about it, let's drop down and have an up close and personal tour around the Lit RDA. Okay guys, so here we are with the Lit RDA from Vandy Vape and the box it comes in. On the bottom back there you see the contents. Scratch and check authenticity, colour, batch number, ECID, etc. A little bit of information there. If we have a look inside, we get the RDA itself. We'll have a look at that in a second. You get 2 drip tips, 810 drip tips, this sort of frosted clear PMMA and a Delrin. And then underneath we do get a little bag of spares. So you've got a Phillips head screwdriver, some spare screws and springs, 510 drip tip adapter, and a gold plated squonk pin and some spare seals. We also get a little bit of mesh in case you want to put some mesh in there, and we get our user manual in various different languages, a quality certificate. I'm a bit dubious about this. I'll let you know why in a few minutes. So let's have a closer look at the RDA itself. So we do get this 810 acrylic drip tip on the top. We do have adjustable airflow, so you've got your slots there, and then you've got little diffused holes if you want. You've got the Lit logo engraved on one side, nothing on the other. Very smooth movement of the airflow, I have to say. If we take that top section out, have a look on the inside, do have a little bit of doming going on. As you can see, it is dual coil only. There's no single coil airflow option on this RDA. On the barrel there's not much to see, and then on the deck base there we've got a gold plated 510 pin, Lit RDA, your serial number, designed and manufactured by Vandy Vape. Your top cap then is held on by these 2 O-rings, and you've got this sort of clamp style system going on. If I just unscrew that a little bit, we'll see this all comes up because of the springs that are in it. You've got your insulators there, so one leg of your coil is going to go on the top, the other on the bottom, and the same on the other side. If you do choose to use this in squonking mode, you swap out this 510 pin, put your squonk pin in, and you've got this hole here, and the same on the other side for your juice to come up into this juice well. That juice well is quite deep as well. So the problems that I had with my one, this is the second deck that Vandy Vape sent me out. The original one, that's the original one. And then what happened, these insulators are not very good. They when I put coils in it, dry burn my coils, and the whole thing melted. That's what I was left with. I'll just zoom that in a little bit for you. So you can see there, I can't remove that screw there at all. That's completely melted. It's all melted quite badly. Even on the inside there. That's just trash. The other post screw, it just got ruined completely. There's the 510 insulator, was melting as well. So then I contacted Vandy Vape and they weren't very helpful. Accused me of misuse, which I know what I'm doing. It also put a little bit of damage onto one of my mods. Not really you'll be able to see that quite as good, but there is some damage there, and you can see Vandy Vape written there. That's just melted into the top of my mod. And then, so what they said they'd send me out is some spares. So I received an insulation mat. So they sent me these bits, and then they also sent me a whole lot of spare screws, clamps, insulators. But when I did send them photographs of this, that this here was melted, so I needed that piece, and the spring was knackered, so I needed a new spring. I couldn't get the screws out, etc., and that's all they sent me. When I did ask them, just if they could send me just a new deck, would be perfect. So I wasted a couple of weeks with that, and then sent them another few emails to say, no, what you've sent me is wrong. I need this base bit here. So a couple of weeks later, in the post, I received another one of these insulation mats and a whole new deck. Now, why they couldn't have just done that in the first place is beyond me. I don't know. They haven't accepted any sort of responsibility to say that this is an issue with the RDA, but I have spoken to a couple of people who've got one of these, and they have also said that it is prone to melting the insulators. Okay, so what I've decided to do is to put some spaced fuse claptons in there. Just because they don't need any dry burn, because there shouldn't be any hot spots in there. It makes things a little bit easier and less likely to go wrong. So we just get our cotton in through there. Just like that. And then on the other side. That'll do. Okay, so I've left the cotton quite long because that deck is quite deep. I have thinned out the ends just a little bit and just need to tuck that down just like that. The juice well on this, it is very deep. It does hold quite a good lot of juice. There we go, so we've got room for the air to come in under the coils. Just move that a little bit open there. That's it. Just need now to get a little bit of juice on there. There we go. So that's it, ready to have a little vape on. Okay guys, so that was the up close and personal tour around the Lit RDA from Vandy Vape. Now, I have to be perfectly honest with this review. I wouldn't recommend this RDA to anybody. The dealings that I've had with Vandy Vape, they haven't been as good as they should have been. I mean, what I didn't show you in the up close, and I don't know whether this will capture it here, is the 510 squonk pin, and the gold plating's even come off from the heat, so I don't know how good that gold plating is on there. Just the quality of this RDA is not up to standard. You've got in the packet, if I find that again, this quality certificate. I would question the quality control, what their standards are, because as an RDA, using it, you'd expect it to be able to stand up to the heat of pulsing your coils. Everybody does it. Whenever you get an RTA or an RDA, you put your coils in, you dry burn them, you get your hot spots out. It's one of the processes that we all have to do. With this RDA, you can't do it. As you saw, I put in a set of spaced fuse claptons. The reason I spaced them is there's no hot spots when you have a spaced coil, and they'll glow evenly. Now, the RDA, as it stands, it does vape. If you're a person who reuses your coils, so you take your cotton out and you clean your coils, you'll have to pulse your coils, you'll have to glow your coils before you clean them with a bit of water. The insulators on this RDA, they're not going to stand up to that heat. I mean, that itself, melting the way it did, is dangerous. It is very dangerous, especially if somebody was to pick this RDA up who, as a first RDA, who's just gone from using sub-ohm tank stock coils to getting the first rebuildable device. They had a nasty experience like this. It could be deadly, could be really dangerous. For that reason, I think this Lit RDA is one of the worst RDAs I've ever come across. And customer service wise, from Vandy Vape themselves, after about 16, 17 emails, they decided they'd send me out replacement parts, which I assumed was going to be the whole post section, because they refused point blank to send me a new deck, and they sent me out this little baggie and this little baggie, and then I had to send them an email back with a photograph of this part here, highlighted in a big red circle, arrow pointing to it, and telling them that this is the actual piece that I need, because the insulator inside there had melted. I couldn't get the spring out, anything like that. I don't know if some things went lost in translation or not, but then when they sent me out the whole replacement deck the second time, 2.5, nearly 3 weeks later, I was thinking to myself, well, why didn't you just do this in the first place? It would have been so much easier. But that's Vandy Vape's customer service for you. As it stands, anyway, getting back to the functionality of the RDA, with this diffused airflow on here, it's a little bit on the noisy side, not too bad. Flavour wise, it's okay, mediocre at best. If we swap that airflow on to these slots, it gets really noisy. Really noisy. And the flavour is almost non-existent. Vapor production is pretty good. Looks wise, it doesn't look too bad. It's not that hard to build on. As I say, Vandy Vape, if you got these insulators right, if you use the material peak insulator instead of, I don't know what that is, but it doesn't stand up to the heat. Simple as that. If you guys are thinking of get one, think again. This RDA is a piece of shit. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I wouldn't even give this away to anybody. The only thing that this is fit for is the bin, and that's probably what I'm going to do with it. So that's all I've got time for. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and if you haven't already done so, please do hit that subscribe button below, and we'll catch you again soon.